Hello everyone, we're back with another video of What If Civilization Started Over, and I don't really have an intro, but if you guys enjoy the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and let's get right into it. Where we left off is the Japanese War of Independence, where these two Japanese countries are getting attacked by this Korean nation, and what we are going to see here is that Cyan Japan is able to make a large counteroffensive against Korea. They're able to take a major city, and they're able to liberate some of Pink Japan. Now, this is kind of going to make Korea a little bit worried about what's going on here, but currently the Japanese are doing very well in this war. We see Pink Japan advance into Korean-occupied Japan, and it's looking pretty good for both of these Japanese countries, as Korea is getting beaten back by the day, or probably by the year, since, these aren't modern times, but these two countries are doing very well. However, Korea is like, we need to stop this, so they're going to go over to their semi-ally of Hokkaido, and they're going to be like, well, let us go through your territory in order to attack these two Japanese countries, please. And they're shockingly going to accept. And what we will be seeing is Korea entering Cyan Japan territory through Hokkaido. This is going to distract both of the Japanese countries as they retreat in some of their occupied lands. Korea is able to liberate this island fully, and they're able to push Pink Japan more than Cyan Japan, as Cyan Japan actually puts up a pretty good defense. They are a decently strong country, although being new, but they aren't weak at all. We see Korea advance near the capital of Cyan Japan. However, they are like, we aren't losing this war. So what they're going to do is they're going to free up some of their land here. My computer's a little laggy. Sorry about that. They're going to free up some of their land down there. And they're going to begin an assault on Hokkaido and Korean forces. Now, Hokkaido isn't fighting in this war, but Cyan Japan is very mad at them. So Cyan Japan is going to push back the Hokkaidans and Koreans, and they're going to begin invading into Hokkaido as they begin a siege of this major city. And again, Korea's worried. They're like, yeah, maybe these Japanese nations aren't as weak as we thought, as we see Pink Japan make a resurgence in southern Japan. Cyan Japan is also going to make a slight resurgence. However, it's not as drastic as the Pink Japanese. And Korea's like, you know what? We don't really want to fight this war. My bad, guys. And Cyan Japan and Pink Japan are like, hey, we can actually get what we want out of this war. We don't have to just, keep fighting them. However, the Koreans say, if they, get out of the war, that they will be keeping this area of Japan. And these two Japanese countries don't want them on Japan at all, but they'd rather have them reserved to these two isles down here. So they're kind of just going to continue the war. And Korea's like, fine, we'll leave that area. So let's take a look at this peace treaty that's going to be drawn up. And in this peace treaty, we see Japan being fully retaken by these Japanese countries, except these two isles down here that I mentioned about earlier. But this is a big victory for both the Japanese countries. However, these guys, they don't really like each other. Pink Japan is like, we should have gotten this land. We wanted it. And Cyan Japan is like, we did more work in the war, so, shut up. So we will see how these two Japanese countries' relations develop over time. Now, in a new event, we're going to be seeing some Indian civilizations emerge on the Indus River as some of this land is explored. And the main country that we are going to be seeing pop up is this kind of blue country. Yeah, this is a blue country. Oh, wrong layer. We're going to see this blue country form up. And they actually aren't too weak, but they aren't really one of the stronger countries in the world. I will be placing a major city here and here. And their capital, which, if you couldn't tell, I changed the shape of capitals. You probably could tell, but I don't know. I changed the shape of capitals to a star because I thought it looked cool. But if you guys don't like the look of the new capitals, tell me in the comments. I'll just switch it back to the old one. In Manchuria and Korea, they're going to kind of be dividing up this new land near these rivers. And all I'm saying is that this country probably won't be lasting very long. However, Manchuria is going to take some land. Not much of... Oh, no, that's not what they take. Oh, where? Oh, this. Manchuria is going to be taking this land. And Korea is going to be taking this land. Over here in Sakhalin, we're going to be seeing a new country form up. It's going to be a yellowish color. And it'll be right here on Sakhalin Island. Our major city and capital will be here. And what we see happen is the Koreans discovering this new Sakhalin area. And they're like, oh, we didn't even know there was land up here, but there's also a country, you know, maybe new territory to expand into. But Yellow Siberia is going to be going down into here and here. So, I don't know, maybe their expansion plans are going to be, like, kind of put to waste. Back over here in India, we're going to be seeing more exploration happen by this singular country. They explore more across the Indus River Valley. And another new area is going to be popping up around here. And they're going to be a different blue color. They're going to be this dark blue-esque color. Their major city will be right here. And by major city, I meant capital. So let me go get this capital. Their capital city will be right here. And honestly, there isn't a lot happening right now. So let's change that. You guys know what's happening over here in Taiwan, and that's Taiwan doesn't like big China. What we're going to see be happening in Taiwan is rebellion pops up in some of these major cities. And in some of the other areas, these guys' main source of food is crabs, weirdly enough. But this will be important later, I swear. And they're going to kick out the Green Chinese. And they're going to kick out the Green Chinese, being able to take all of Taiwan for themselves. And this is kind of going to cause Green China to just, like, collapse. Not fully, but they're going to have a partial minor collapse. Now, this semi-collapse is going to happen over here in their southern regions, where not a lot of people also got along with the Green Chinese government. But now that we have these new nations, maybe some more stuff can happen. And we actually are going to be seeing some more stuff happening as Taiwan is going to try to send explorers to the northern Philippines where they make a small colony. It's pretty useless because it takes ages to get in between these two areas, but they don't really care. They just want a colony for resources, but I'm not even sure what resources can be here. And in another event, we're going to see Manchuria try to beat back the Shandong country. They're going to advance into this river. And these guys were caught off guard by this. They were like, whoa, whoa. We're supposed to be doing this to you, not the other way around. However, they're going to kind of get cut off in this northern region, and yeah, Shandong is kind of cooked. We see Manchuria advance into these southern regions, and Green China, who just lost a bunch of land, is going to be like, yeah, this is a steal. And they're going to also be invading into this country. Now, Shandong is going to surrender. They want to still exist. So, let's take a look at this peace treaty. In this agreement, Shandong is massively weakened as they get basically gobbled up by the countries around them, except Korea, for now. But they still exist in the Shandong Peninsula. We're going to be checking back up on India, as these nations are going to begin exploring more so they can get more land. This Bangladesh region is discovered, and this is honestly pretty... This Bangladesh region is discovered, and that's pretty good for this East Indian nation. And North India, they're going to decide to expand. And it's going to end up looking... And it's going to end up looking something like this. Over here in this Vietnamese country, they're going to kind of begin expanding more, as they want more land. They're like, we don't really have any land. They're going to try to expand down into this area, the South Chinese area. They will end up looking something like this, but something important to note, these orange guys, Orange Taiwan, they're going to be following a new religion called... They see crabs as the reason for why they won their independence war, and they're going to be establishing a religion based on crabs. And they're going to be calling it Zivoniism. North India is going to keep expanding as they don't really have any other competitors. However, tensions are still building up on the Japanese peninsula. And did I just say the Japanese peninsula? This is not a peninsula. Tensions are going to keep building up on the Japanese archipelago as Cyan Japan kind of starts putting troops on the border of Pink Japan. And this is going to scare them a lot, so Pink Japan is going to do the same thing. But honestly, I don't think Pink Japan is going to win in a war. They're just too weak. Other than that, we actually see Korean and Manchurian tensions kind of settle down over time, as Manchuria is kind of less angry at Korea, I guess you could say. But what we are going to see happening that might reignite them is Korea is going to advance into here, and this country is very scared, and Manchuria is like, why'd you do that? That was supposed to be our land. This country is going to expand. And yeah, it's not looking good for Korea and Manchurian tensions now that I think about it. This yellow Siberian country is going to expand down to the border with Korea. And yeah, I think that's going to do it for today's episode. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, as I said before. Maybe leave a comment for any suggestions, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you next time.